Okay, let's jump right into this explainer with a massive what-if thought experiment for Independence Day. We all celebrate our world-class institutions, right? Places like the IITs, IIMs, and ISRO give us this incredible sense of national pride. They represent our massive investments in science, medicine, and administration since 1947. But I want to pose a question that kind of completely reframes how we look at national development. What if we had built an elite national teaching service to match them? What if we had actively channeled our absolute brightest minds straight into the classroom?
Part 1, the mother of all professions.
Think about this for a second. In our society, we rightly revere certain career paths. We all know the classic parental dream of raising a highly successful engineer or a doctor. And fair enough, an engineer designs marvels of modern infrastructure, and a doctor literally pulls people back from the brink of death. But hold on, who teaches the scientist? Who guides that ambitious future CEO when they're just 14 years old sitting at a wooden desk?
Right? Every single profession, literally all of them, begins in a classroom. The teacher is the absolute genesis of every other role in our modern economy. Every top-tier civil servant had someone who originally taught them how to critically think and question the world. Yet, despite being the mother of all professions, teaching simply hasn't gotten the societal prestige or the structural support that it so undeniably deserves.
So here's the crazy paradox we're living with. India has poured massive resources into systems that churn out exceptional engineers, doctors, and civil servants. We have the IITs, we have the IIS, but we completely miss the boat on creating a comparable, elite institution to produce exceptional teachers. Our scientists and doctors ultimately depend entirely on the quality of the education that comes before them. It's like we built this magnificent gleaming roof, but we just kind of forgot to pour a solid foundation.
Which brings us to Section 2, Envisioning the Teaching Service.
So let's really indulge in this thought experiment together. Imagine if we created the Indian Teaching Service, the ITS. The vision here is transforming teaching into an incredibly elite, highly competitive national institution. It would be designed from the ground up to give educators the exact same dignity, financial security, and absolute rockstar professional recognition that we currently reserve for our top-tier government and corporate leaders.
And getting in wouldn't be a walk in the park. Entry into the ITS wouldn't just be about checking boxes on a written test or having high grades. We're talking about one of the most demanding selection processes in all of India. You'd be vetting for raw intellectual ability, sure, but also stellar communication skills, emotional maturity, leadership, and absolute rock-solid integrity. A true holistic vetting of our future nation builders.
And the payoff for making the cut? Elite professional benefits. After rigorous selection and continuous high-level training, these exceptional educators would get highly competitive salaries, government housing, dedicated healthcare, research grants, and even sabbaticals for international training. We'd be sending a massive, clear message as a society. Becoming a teacher isn't choosing less, it is choosing the absolute best.
Moving on to Section 3, breaking the second choice cycle.
Because right now, we're stuck in this really dangerous loop. Society loudly and visibly rewards fields like engineering, medicine, and management as the ambitious paths, right? So naturally, our strongest, most driven student talent flocks straight to those highly rewarded fields. Teaching ends up looking to a lot of people like a fallback option. And because of that lingering perception, the profession becomes insanely hard to actually transform, and the cycle just repeats generation after generation.
You know, we love to call teachers nation builders. It's a beautiful phrase, but we can't just offer noble words and empty platitudes. If we actually want young, brilliant minds to dedicate their lives to the classroom, we have to design a profession that offers genuine intellectual challenge, real upward mobility, profound purpose, and rock-solid financial security. Words don't pay the bills.
Section 4, the ultimate multiplier effect.
Here's the bottom line. We cannot expect extraordinary outcomes from our students while treating the teaching profession as ordinary. It just doesn't work that way. If we want educators capable of guiding a kid in a small rural town or a crowded government school to absolute greatness, we have to build an extraordinary profession to back them up. You can update the textbooks and build fancy new smart schools all you want, but the person standing at the front of that classroom is still the most vital component of education.
Just let this number sink in for a second. Thousands. Imagine taking India's absolute top academic minds, brilliant mathematicians, phenomenal artists, linguists, scientists, and actually giving them the resources to teach.
A single exceptional teacher doesn't just impact one project or one company's bottom line. They literally shape thousands of future leaders, doctors, and engineers over a 30-year career. The return on investment there is just off the charts.
Section 5. Reimagining India's next 80 years. Back in 1947, we gained independence and built our initial foundational institutions. Today represents our golden opportunity to launch the Indian Teaching Service. Because as we look toward 2047, our 100th year of independence, that future is going to be shaped way less by the concrete buildings we construct today and vastly more by the elite educators standing at the front of the classroom teaching the kids who will actually inherit this country.
Just imagine a cultural shift so profound that we arrive at a future where, instead of grilling a bright student about why they aren't becoming an engineer, parents proudly lean in and ask, "So, which elite teaching program are you applying for?" Imagine schools fiercely competing to attract these exceptional teachers, and society celebrating a great high school teacher with the exact same hype we give to a superstar space scientist. How incredible would that be? And finally, Section 6, a vision by Teacher Pool. Now, this whole profound Independence Day thought experiment comes to us from the folks over at Teacher Pool. True to their mission of providing complete people solutions for schools, they envision a country that proactively attracts its absolute best minds to essentially teach its future into existence. Because at the end of the day, a school is only ever as good as its people.
So I'm going to leave you with this final, provocative thought to hash out in the comments below. What would happen if India stopped asking if someone is merely qualified enough to teach and started asking if we are doing enough to attract the very best? What if we actually launched the Indian Teaching Service today? Let us know your thoughts. Thanks for exploring this vision with me, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.